Hello everyone, my name is Yar Flores and today I will be talking about the black-footed ferret. So just a quick classification breakdown of this mammal. It falls under the kingdom Animalia, the order is Carnivora, and the species is the Mustela and Gripes. Just a few characteristics of the black-footed ferret include having a long body. It's like a weasel-like body, which usually averages 14 to 18 inches in length, and the tail can go from anywhere to 4 to 5 inches as well. It's mostly yellow and brownish in color, but it also has hints of black throughout its body, as you can observe in the picture. And these black colorations usually occur around the eyes, the tip of the tail, and as well as the feet, hence the name the black-footed ferrets. It usually reaches a weight of 2 to 3 pounds, and the males are much larger than the females. In the terms of the range of the black-footed ferret, it has a historic range, which they were formerly found throughout the eastern and southern Rocky Mountains. But due to a problem, which I'll later discuss, this range was greatly reduced, and now they have a reintroduced range, which includes areas such as South Dakota, Utah, and Colorado, as you can observe in the picture. The black-footed ferret is a carnivore, which means it mainly consumes meat for its energy source. And the way it does this is it catches prey at the entrance or inside the burrow, and they primarily consume prairie dogs. It's said that black-footed ferret can consume on average around 100 prairie dogs per year, and that 91% of its diet is prairie dog related. So that's a huge number, prairie dogs being consumed by this ferret. When it's not eating prairie dogs, it's also observed to eat other mammals such as the mice or gophers, and it may also be observed to eat birds or eggs as well. In terms of the behavior and reproduction, this is a very nocturnal animal, which means it's active during the night, and then during the day it just stays in its burrow. Another type of behavior of this animal is it usually takes over the burrow of prairie dogs and customizes it, which include enlarging the entrance and the interior of this burrow. It also has a characteristic digging in which it's observed when it's excavating its prey, mainly when the prey are hibernating. And what it does is it pushes the dirt to the side, creating a huge mound, and leaves it like that. Typically, like in prairie dogs, you see them pound down the mound, but what the wild ferrets do, they just leave it the way it is. And that's the characteristic digging that's observed with them. They're mainly a solitary animal, except when it comes to breeding. And when they interact with each other, they also can be playing or wrestling, but for the most part, they're mainly by themselves. They breed in the early spring, which means the offspring are born around May, and the litters usually consist of 1 to 5 offspring. The offspring are dependent of the female, usually for 2 months after gestation, because they are blind and therefore need the mother. They don't reach breeding age or maturity until they are 1 year of age. The black-footed ferret is an endangered species, so there's a lot of conservation efforts being put forward to preserve this mammal. As I mentioned, it used to have a historic range, and they were first identified in 1851. But they were thought to be extinct in 1977 due to a plague called the Saladic plague that affected not only the black-footed ferret, but as well as the prairie dogs. So as you can imagine, the black-footed ferret was being affected by the plague, and its food source was also being diminished because the prairie dogs were also being affected by this plague. So that's why they were thought to be extinct in 1976. However, in 1981, they observed around 100 black-footed ferrets still existing. So what they did was they kept those in captivity, started breeding efforts, and started taking care of the black-footed ferret in efforts to continue this once thought extinct population. They were reintroduced into the wild in 1991 in areas such as Colorado, Utah, in order to increase the wild population of the wild ferrets back. And here are my references. Thank you for watching and have a great day.